Hi, I'm Juliana and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you an awesome way to set your goals for 2021 using Notion. And now I'll be the first to admit, I've always felt really bad at setting New Year's resolutions because first of all, they end up being like really unrealistic, and secondly, I don't know where to start. Like I would have a bunch of different sentences like learning how to use my time wisely or be happy and healthy, but I would have no idea where to start with those. And so this year I thought I would do it differently because the thing that have recently changed my life is Notion. And if you don't know Notion, it's an awesome project management and note-taking tool that you can basically do anything with it, right? So if you haven't checked it out already, I would highly recommend it because it's free and it's going to change your life. So I scoured the internet for all things 2021 New Year's resolutions and then picked out the tools that I thought would be most helpful and then put my own twist to it and turned it into a 5-step process. And if you'd like to download this exact template that I've used, I'll link it below. And I'll just go through the 5 different steps and then we'll dive right into my Notion page so you can see how I did it. So the first step is things you'd like to work on this year using the Wheel of Life method. And then secondly, vision boarding. Thirdly, making a bucket list. And then turning that into quarterly focus areas. And then the last step is to make a plan of execution. So I'll share with you how I did this. I've just shared my screen and I have used the word intentions instead of New Year's resolutions because I just feel like intentions is less harsh than like resolutions. And then first step is to things I like to work on this year. Now, as I said, this is inspired by the Wheel of Life method, and I actually saw the City here on YouTube. She did a video where she used the Wheel of Life to plan her new year. So you basically have a wheel and then you have 8 different areas of your life, and then you color in the different areas of wherever you feel like you are at the moment, and then you can outline like where you want to go. But so I didn't want to print it out and color it, and I didn't feel like creating graphic either. I wanted to use Notion for this, so I actually just wrote down the 8 different areas and then I gave them a rating here. And you can totally visualize this if you want to in any kind. It's like Illustrator, or you can do it on paper too. But let's just go through. So the first one is mental well-being. I rated this 6 out of 10 right now because I feel like quarantine has taken a toll on my mental health, but I definitely feel like it fluctuates, right? So I'll probably come back to all of this in like half a year's time and then reevaluate to see where I'm at. But at the moment I rated it 6 out of 10, and this mindset, emotion, self-care. And just to give an example, it's like be kinder to myself, continue to learn how to tackle my inner critic and imposter syndrome and feeling like I can't do something. I also wrote practice self-care and actually practice being consistent with social media. Now you might think this is weird that it's in like the mental well-being, but I think generally this year I really want to work on consistency because I know how important it is. I know how I can feel very unmotivated if I don't stick to a plan. So that's something that I just want to work on, and I feel like that would help my mental well-being if I plan in advance and I'm not stressing about things like social media. And then we have physical well-being, which is like eating habits, movement, quality rest. And here I wrote experimenting with fun recipes, exercise, improving flexibility, finances. I feel like I'm doing pretty well at the moment. I wrote things like continue putting money aside for pension, learn more about investing, maybe save up for an electrical car. Career, I rated 7 out of 10. I want to network, connect more with other people. It could even be virtually on Clubhouse. Continue listening to my inner voice, gut feeling, becoming more clear in my purpose and not being afraid to try different things. Home, I'm pretty happy with right now. I just wrote small things like maybe dedicate a space to like a filming setup, getting a wireless Dyson vacuum cleaner. Get into the habit of like tidying up after I finish, for instance, like putting on makeup. I'd put away like all my makeup things and things like that. Continue to take care of my plants. And so throughout these things, you will actually see that the areas where I feel like I'm doing okay at the moment, I've written like continue you will also see down here in personal growth. So it's not necessarily anything that I want to change about that certain area, but I'll just continue to do what I'm doing. You shouldn't feel like you have to change everything about these specific areas. You can still continue to do something. Relationships, I actually rated this 4 out of 10 because I feel like I've lost touch with my friends and things during quarantine. I still try, but just in general, I think I'm not very good at keeping in touch with people, so that's something that I want to work on. So the first priority is like put more energy into friendships, schedule catch-up calls, engage more communities online, maybe like join a book club or creative writing group, and go on more walks with my dog. Recreation is passions, hobbies, fun. I wrote start a YouTube channel, which I'm doing right now, then begin my creative writing journey, maybe explore like acting classes. It's not something that I've thought of doing before, but I don't know, I just had this thought. I was like, oh, why not see what that's about and see what it could turn into. And then explore new ways to express my creativity. That could be anything like pottery, painting. And then personal growth, again, I've just written like continue to take online courses, stay curious, continue to write book notes using Notion, and keep any like ideas, brain dumps, notes and things in my either my journal or Notion. Then continue reading before bed. Then we move on to step 2, which is vision boarding. Now, this is my vision board, and it's not, I don't do vision boards per year. Like I don't, this one I think I did at the beginning of last year, and it's not anything that I would necessarily change about it. It's like my long-term vision, so it's just there to remind me of where I want to go. I actually also have this exact one printed out, stuck to my wall, so I just like to have this as a reminder here and there of where I want to go in the future. Now let me just go through it, and so you have a better idea of what this is. If you are wondering, I created this in InDesign, but you can totally use other softwares like Canva, or even like collaging by hand to do this. And so up here we have my creative writing. I really love writing, but I think I kind of lost touch with it over the last few years. So it's something I want to pick up. And I'm someone who is very calm and meditating, because I want to feel at peace. And then I have this beautiful house, really like reading nook, overseeing a lake. And this is so this is basically just means that I want to have like a house near lake or the sea or anything like that with a view, with a cute little reading nook. This has always been a dream of mine. And then I have a bunch of things here, like I want to start a little family at some point in my life. I have a bunch of people, like gatherings, friends, things. Public speaking is something that I would like to try at some point. Then we have like video production, like really big video production teams, and this is here because I would like to at one point be part of like a big production, whether that be producing, directing. I'm not sure like what my part would be, but I still think that would be quite a fun thing. Down here we have a bunch of different brands that I've either like worked with or want to continue to be associated with. I was a freelance editorial producer at Vogue, and I'm also on the community board for Denmark at Airbnb right now. It's just brands that I would like to work with at some point in one way or another, whether that be like making YouTube videos, doing Instagram, or actually like working internally with the team. I'm not sure, but it's just here to remind me of things, brands, companies that I really admired. And we have like picture of like teamwork. We have some magazines that I really like, and then some internet personalities that I really admire. Michelle Phan is like an OG on YouTube. I've always admired her storytelling, the way she creates videos, and also her business mindset. Gary Vee, he's very motivating in terms of just getting things done, putting yourself out there. I really admire how Jessica Alba has taken her acting career and turned that into like entrepreneurship, creating a company that stands for something good without fragrance and any bad chemicals. And then David Dobrik and Lisa Koshy, I just really admire how entertaining they are as creators, and how Lisa Koshy has started on YouTube and then has turned that into like an YouTube original series, working with Vogue at the Met Gala. Then we also have like a YouTube gold plate, because if this YouTube thing goes well, I would want to get that at some point. That would be pretty cool. Down here we have a bucket list. So I have 11 things on my bucket list of just things that I would like to do this year. And then down here we also have some long-term goals. So again, this ties into the vision board. First up, we have start my YouTube channel, meditate more regularly, post consistently socials, dive deeper into sustainability, learn how to do a headstand without getting hurt, because I think handstands are just really, really cool. I've always seen that on Instagram. I was like, wow, I would like to do that one day. And then we have discover online tribes networks, for instance, on Clubhouse through like creative writing, content creation, book clubs, and so on. I'm not going to go through all of them, but someday here we have like write a book, be part of a big film production, as I just said, keynote presentation, launch a product or service. And then down here we have the quarterly focus areas. So I basically took the things on my bucket list, and then the ones that really stuck out to me, I have done this for. So the key themes here would be for me 4 different things. 1, YouTube. 2, mental physical well-being. 3, social media. And then just learning and expanding my mind. So okay, so let's just break this down. For instance, starting my YouTube channel. So the big goal here would be to post once a week on YouTube. So eventually I want to get to that, but I know I need to set up a system that would allow me to do that. And I first of all need to start my YouTube channel, just get it started and see what it's like and experiment here and there. So first quarter would be to start my YouTube channel. Second quarter I would think would be to like refine my production workflow, see how I'm doing. Then third quarter, I could level up my content using collaborations. And then in the fourth quarter, by the fourth quarter, I ideally want to be posting once a week. So this is not to say that this is like these steps are set in stone. It's really hard to predict these different things, but so what I could do is to go in once a quarter and then see how I'm doing, make any edits if it's needed. But this is just to give me like a general roadmap as to how I would ideally want this to go. So moving on to mental and physical well-being, my focus area this quarter is to meditate regularly. Then second quarter would be to exercise and improve my flexibility. Now again, this is not to say that I don't exercise in the first quarter. I still do that, but my focus area is on meditation, right? And then by the third quarter, I would like to start to learn how to do a headstand. And then by the fourth quarter, I like to have a good exercise and meditation routine up and running. Posting regularly on social media is probably not as interesting, but the last one, learning, again, is just I want to take a bunch of online courses, dive into different things, get more knowledge on different subjects. So for instance, that could be first quarter, like dive into sustainability, learn everything that I can in terms of like books and things. And then second quarter could be focused on creative writing, then acting classes, and then by the fourth quarter I could share some of those experiences and learnings that I've gone through. Moving on to the last step of this system is created by Ali Abdaal. If you don't know Ali Abdaal, he's an amazing YouTuber who does videos around productivity and his life as a doctor. And he, just a week or 2 ago, he put out this anti-wasteman system. And it's basically that. I think I've rephrased the headlines a little bit. But it's a really, really great system to get you reflecting on, okay, what would be stopping me from getting there? and then who can help me, how can I set myself up for success. So I've done this with starting my YouTube channel and taking care of my physical and mental well-being, because I think those two things are the most important things this year, or as of right now anyway. For YouTube, let's see, so this first step is like my why. So I wrote, it's a good way to build an online community challenges me to speak in front of my camera, express my creativity, be an advocate for topics I find important like mental health, learn skill sets like video editing and communicating my ideas, and it might lead to great things, who knows. Then the second step is to create a SMART goal. SMART goals is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. And so I wrote, by 2021, I'll have developed a workflow that allows me to consistently post a video once a week on YouTube. Next up, we have, what habit should I implement? And if you haven't already, read Atomic Habits. It's a great read. But basically, I said planning and scripting ahead of time, maybe even like film batching, so taking out one day a week and just like batch my filming, and then maybe set out 1 to 2 days each week dedicated to just YouTube. Next we have, what is stopping me here? So this is a really good reminder of like, what are the mental blockers? I feel like often when I write these things down, I'm like, wow, that's not really a great reason to not be doing this, right? So the first one is like overthinking, overcomplicating, trying to make videos perfect before publishing, or I would think it's too much work for me to manage, and I would feel overwhelmed by the task that I end up not posting at all and getting out of the routine before it's even built. Whoa, that was a big one. And then the last one is like fearing I'm wasting my time and getting frustrated about not really seeing results. Okay, and then who can help me to get there, to like start my YouTube channel? I wrote there a bunch of like online courses. Ali even has like part-time YouTube Academy that I might sign up for, I'm not sure yet. There's like Skillshare, Think Media here on YouTube, a bunch of different like free resources that I could take advantage of. Then I could have an accountability buddy, perhaps another YouTube creator. And I could find out via like Facebook groups. And then lastly, maybe like get a video editor if I feel like that's a really big burden to get into the habit of posting once a week. I'm not used to video editing, so it might be a blogger, I'm not sure yet, depending on how difficult I find it. And then how can I set myself up for success? I wrote I could use time blogging, setting aside time to work in YouTube every week. I could sign up for online courses and find a bunch of resources. I could reduce overthinking and just get it done, and know it will get easier the more I do it. Last point is a really good one. I think it's the most important one actually, is to write down the different things that you can do right now to like set yourself up for success and do some sort of improvement, even if it's just a little step. And so I actually got myself 2 accountability partners. I've already done that, and then I've booked Tuesday every week for YouTube stuff. Then 2 things I still need to do, and I want to do this after I've just posted like 3 videos or so on YouTube. But I want to create with new YouTuber creators via Facebook group, and so we can chat and be like, oh, I just posted a new video or things, so we can keep each other intact of actually getting YouTube videos out, maybe, I don't know. And then the last one is to have like a dedicated desk or space where I film. I feel like that would be really helpful too. Let's move on to the very last one, which is taking care of my physical and mental well-being. Why do I want to do this? It's important for me to take care of my mind and body in order to function well in all other aspects of my life, whether that be work, relationship, happiness, performance, and just motivation. And then my SMART goal is by 2021, I'll meditate and do any sort of exercise, whether that be walking, stretching, yoga, Pilates, daily. Then the habit would be to meditate and exercise daily. Now, what's stopping me? First of all, the mindset that if I only have time for like 10 minutes of exercise, or I can only do stretching because I'm sore from the day before, I might as well just skip today altogether. And then I might also like forget to set a specific time for meditation. So if I wake up late or I forget to meditate before I go to bed, and then getting caught up in important work projects, so I don't prioritize self-care. And then I might also like get injured. For instance, a couple of weeks ago I did something to my shoulder where I like overstretched it or something, and that just means that I couldn't do like any sort of workouts involving my arms for a little bit. So who can help me here? So I wrote I could do like online meditation training videos. Boho Beautiful on YouTube, Bloggalates. Boho Beautiful does great meditation sessions. Those are the ones that I currently do. And then I could also follow like wellness accounts on socials that does like live meditation sessions. I've also seen that on Clubhouse, or I don't know, maybe even like Instagram lives. And then how can I set myself up for success? I can track meditation and exercise streaks on like habit tracking templates or using Notion. And I actually have that right here. Let me just, I printed this out from James Clear's website. He's the author of Atomic Habits, and I actually find that I tend to use the printed one more than the system I set up in Notion. So just like cross out each day that I, for instance, meditate. I've meditated for about 11 days straight now, so I'm getting into the routine of that. I could also print out reasons why meditation and exercise is important and stick them on my wall, like statistics, interesting facts and things. So this is all about figuring out what would motivate you. For me, I did an online course last year called The Science of Well-Being, and there were some great stats about why meditation is so good for your brain. And so but I forget those stats, right? So putting them on my wall would actually be a great reminder of like why this is really important. So actually printing these statistics out would be a great way to remind me, and I could do this for YouTube too. Then I could make meditation and exercise non-negotiable, so I reduced debating whether to do it or not. And I could also set aside time, maybe in the morning, to get both done, like habit stacking. So I would exercise first and then meditate, and then that way I wouldn't have to remind myself throughout the day to do it at some point. Now, to take action, I wrote I've already set up my habit tracking system. I prefer the printed one, and then I still have to print out studies, notes and statistics on meditation from the online course I took last year. And so yes, this is it. I'll just show you the template that I made. So I got rid of some of the things that I wrote. I just wrote like one sentence in the first step, and I left the majority of the bucket list clear too, but I still filled out the quarterly focus areas so you can see how I did it, so you can duplicate it. Okay, that was a lot of information, but I really hope you found this video helpful. I think you will actually benefit a lot from doing this step-by-step method that I just showed you, because I really did. I feel like I've never been so prepared for a year as I have this year, even though we never know what is gonna happen this year. I mean, 2020 was pretty chaotic, but yeah, let me know if you decide to use it. Let me know down below what your goal for 2021 is, and make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and click this video over here to see more content from me. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.